Last year was a financial mess
I'm not making ends meet.
that kept getting worse and worse as the year went on.
Got 20p to my name.
And people were already struggling,
The invasion of Ukraine has huge implications for
with 1 in 5 UK adults having no savings at all. But we can change this and go from £0 to £10,000 in 1 year. And this isn't an easy task, but I've been able to do it before. And I've done this by just following a few simple but actionable steps. Don't set a goal, create a financial vision. You see, goals, they sometimes have the impact of being a detriment to achieving what's desired, ending up with, of course, lackluster results. And this is because of a plethora of reasons, but one notably being the fear of failing to achieve your goal. And this is obviously a lot to do with being in a mindset where you believe the goal in question is not attainable. Now, if you compare this to a vision, a financial vision, where you've already got the foundation in place, you've already seen the imagery, you've seen what it potentially looks like, where you just need to actualize it through looking at why you want the money, how you're going to get the money, and what you're going to use the money for. It has the ability to spark a fire in your soul.
It is not just a little spark.
Now, I'm not saying kiss a bulldog or anything, but what I am saying is that when you compare the goal to the vision, my question to you is, which one do you think you're more likely to stick to, and which one do you think is going to give you your desired results? Point number 2, write it down. Now, studies show that we're 42% more likely to achieve our goals if they're written down. But if you've been listening, are we working towards goals? No. But can we apply the same fundamentals used to achieve goals in looking at our financial dream or financial vision? Of course we can. You see, writing them down in a place that you can always see, where you always have access to, will act as a reminder in what we want to see and what we will see. So every time you are reminded of this, it has the potential to reignite that flame in your soul. So of course, write this down in places that you always have access to. So not in a random piece of paper or book you never use. Write it down in your daily journal, a whiteboard in your bedroom or your sitting room. Me personally, I like to use a combination of the Notes app and Reminder app found on Apple devices, as the Notes app can be used to write a full description of this financial vision in detail to always inspire you. And the Reminder app can be used to regularly remind you, of course, based on the frequency that you set, so weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, even quarterly, on what needs to be done to create this financial vision. Make saving a reflex action. You see, the battle against big corporations is real, and for the most part it's a losing battle. So why not make something like saving, which is very hard to do in the times we live in, easier by utilizing automation? Now, I do this by using standing orders. So money moving from my accounts on payday to different savings accounts or different accounts I have that have different use cases, so emergency fund or whatever it may be. Now, if you do this in a combination with creating a budget, this can really expand your ability to save money. Now, some of you might hear budget and get turned off, say that's not really for me, I don't really vibe with that. And I hear you and I don't hear you. And the reason why I say this is because, quote time now. See, there's a book called Atomic Habits. You probably heard it, everybody's heard it. Now, there's a great quote that says, habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. And how this applies here is by seemingly making a small change to use, or let's say create and use a budget. This can have unparalleled and extraordinary results in your financial journey going forward. So why not make that change? And if you do want to utilize some sort of budget or even know how to create a budget, I've actually got you. Video for that can be found in the description below. Now point number 4 is practice frugal living. So that's, let's say we take this £20 here, spending it on things that actually matter. Or better yet, I'll bring it in close. Or making this £20 note last. And I'm not saying completely get rid of all your shopping or take away your entertainment as usually negatively associated with being frugal. But all I'm saying is, as I previously said, just making sure you're spending money on things that actually matter. So that doesn't result in you like derailing your quality of life, as you can still maintain a good quality of life while being frugal. Now, just going a step further, when we're looking at this and trying to action this, we just need to remember that it doesn't have to be a permanent fix. You can do this just part of the season in your life where you're actually trying to save money. Now, some bonus tips to add would be, and we can classify both of them under monk mode, let's call it. And the first one would be practicing delayed gratification. So this is looking at, you want a new item, you're about to make a decision to buy, so new pair of trainers, maybe a new pair of heels, and you just stop and think, right now is not the best time for me to make this purchase. I'm going to stop, I'm going to halt, I'm going to leave this for a later date. And then the second thing is just not only looking at cutting expenditure or cutting costs on small items, so maybe a Spotify account you don't use, or maybe food here and there, but also looking at big ticket items that we can really start to save a lot of money on. So maybe you've got too much car, you've got too much house, and just knowing that maybe you need to sell that car you have because it's not really doing you so well, or too much house for, I guess, you and whatever your situation in your life is right now. Now, with the tips previously mentioned, it now puts us in the mind state to actually be more effective when it comes to saving. But how do we actually start saving? And now we can utilize the 27-40 rule to do this. And this splits the sizable amount, which is 10,000, into a daily rate across the year, which will be 27.40 to actually hit this number. And a breakdown of this would look something like this. So saving around £7 per day by eating food from home instead of buying food during your lunchtime. An approximate value of £200 per month spent on takeaway, saving £7 once again. Keeping your current phone instead of upgrading to a new iPhone, saving £1.50 per day. Cancelling unused subscriptions, which will save around 50p per day. Looking at moving from a more expensive internet provider like Virgin to a cheaper one like TalkTalk. So going from around £30 to £15 per month, which will save you around 50p per day. And if you just tally that all up, that'll be around £16.50. So you only need to raise around £11 left to reach that target that you require. Nice. And this can be done by, of course, saving on those bigger ticket items that I previously mentioned, as well as other means like maybe getting a second job or a side hustle one if you have the means to do so, of course. So by utilizing everything mentioned in this video, this will put you well on your way to saving £10,000 and more with God's grace. So if you like this video, then definitely leave a like, leave a comment about what you liked, what you found interesting, new, insightful, or even advice that you've used to reach different financial numbers in your life. And of course, subscribe. And until next time, stay blessed and peace.